been 6 months since the President announced a national lockdown. What's more incredible, it's been 6 months since we've gotten together as a church to physically meet together. We've been faced with a lot of uncertainties and many challenges. Businesses have closed down, jobs have been lost, lives have been lost due to this pandemic, and it's tested both our faith and our resilience. But although we've been in lockdown, heaven has not been, and we've witnessed God do the impossible. Like the testimony of Natasha van Heerden, who despite facing severe financial challenges in her business, watched God do a miracle for her and her staff and allowed them to thrive.
Anxiety hit big time. How was I going to look after my 19 staff who care for 140 direct dependents? I applied for UIF TIRS relief and praised the Lord because His books were in order. My staff are getting paid 80% of their normal wage and I'm receiving a 50% salary. It is a miracle. And it just shows that God knew long before us what we're going to go through now, and He perfectly aligned us at home and at work to survive this tough financial time. He has also provided us with about 25% of our normal work, meaning we can pay our suppliers, we can pay it forward and keep the cash flowing. My accountants informed me that I owe workmen's compensation money from 2016, and on the very same day, a debitor whose bill I've written off contacted me, said he felt it on his heart to pay that bill with interest, and the money's in the bank. It's been amazing, and I just like to encourage you to stay confident in the Lord. Let Him guide you through the good and the tough times, and I pray that you know now what you'd like to give the Lord to be in charge of. He's really good at running this show.
As our church community continued to face the pressures brought on by COVID-19, David Beatty was using his hard-earned business insight to coach and encourage others, all the whilst his own property management business was experiencing an uncertain future of its own. What we saw was a man fueled by faith and his entrepreneurial spirit, but behind the scenes he was actually facing a long-standing battle with depression.
The depression was like a deep grief underneath my skin, over my whole body, and it morphed into some kind of dark hole for close to 2 weeks, and which is quite unusual, much longer than normal. And I'm just so thankful for Karen at this time for supporting and loving me and allowing me to work my way out of the valley. I'm also so thankful to our Connect group. They pressed in and prayed for me and encouraged me. One of the blessings of the lockdown is that I've got back into drawing again. For me, drawing is a prophetic act. It's a way of expressing my feelings and a way of expressing my faith and the promises of God. For example, this drawing I did is called I Will Overcome. For me, lockdown has often felt like being on a steep mountain, clawing my way up inch by inch. And I drew this as a way of giving myself hope and encouragement to keep persevering, and with the promise that I will overcome. Depression is nothing to be ashamed of. And it's expressed in different kind of ways. For me, for example, I might feel listless, or I might feel super tired, or more irritable than normal, or life is more of a, I feel like I'm in a dark hole. But in whatever way it does manifest in each of us, I just encourage us to always bring it to the light. So I just want to pray for each one of you who are watching this, who may be affected by mental illness. I pray for your encouragement. I pray for new hope within you. I pray that you wouldn't suffer in silence, that you would be able to share with spiritual family. And I just pray for a victorious walk with God.
As has been the case with churches everywhere, lockdown has propelled us to radically change our approach to how we do ministry. Although being online meant that we had to forego the hugs and chats over warm cups of coffee, it has actually allowed us to connect with people right across the globe. And that's how this young German couple found their way to Every Nation Randburg.
We have been staying in Namibia a couple of years ago, and we attended there in Every Nation Church. Tina and I, we went there for pre-marriage counseling, which Pastor Sege did, and yeah, from there we ended up moving to Germany. All these years we had loose contact with Pastor Sege. So now what happened was, when the Corona crisis came, I saw that Every Nation Rendsburg is going online with their sermons, and I ended up watching it, which was very nice and a blessing. I got a message from Pastor Sege saying, do you know anyone who is interested in a foundation class? We are going to start one via Zoom. And I thought, oh, praise the Lord, this is so great. And that is where I give over to my husband.
Maybe to mention a special highlight, if some of you maybe remember, Gustav and Karika gave a powerful testimony about how God impacted them a few weeks ago. And when I listened to this testimony for the first time, I felt this conviction that God wanted me to step up my prayer life, especially in terms of praying in tongues and praying spiritually. And I just want to share a verse with you quickly. It's from Jeremiah 33, verse 3. And it says, "Call to me and I'll answer you and tell you great and unsearchable things you don't know." And I have the feeling this word has come to life since I've been doing the spiritual foundations. So I just want to take this opportunity to thank Pastor Sege and his wonderful team for all the work they are doing. Thank you for the time you invest. Thank you for the blessing you are to all of us. And of course, our brothers and sisters who we fellowship with every Sunday. May God bless you guys richly. And maybe we'll meet at some point. Who knows? Bye.
Bye.
Hearing Antje and Tane's testimony makes you realize that being online has actually increased our reach and impact. And it reminds me that we serve a God that knows no limits or bounds. We've had the opportunity this morning to share with you just a tidbit of the incredible stories in people's lives. If you want the full version, go over to our YouTube channel. Stay connected, stay blessed. We'll see you next week.